Hello and thanks for joining me for episode 3 of my Aussie Lingo series, where I'm here to teach you some of my local language here in Australia. And I'm primarily a gaming channel, but only 0.04% of my viewers are actually Australian. So we're going to delve into a few different bits and pieces here to do with the origins of Aussie slang. So if you watched the last couple of episodes, then you should know that Australia was settled by Great Britain, and they come over the first lot come in what is historically known as the First Fleet, which consisted of 11 ships carrying about 1,000 people. So that's almost 100 people on each ship, and they weren't huge ships, so it was pretty close quarters, cramped quarters, and basically those people were made up of primarily convicts, soldiers and their families. And that journey on the open sea was roughly about an eight-month journey, which is a pretty long time to spend in close quarters with all your fellow passengers. And these fellow passengers would be known as your shipmates. And that got shortened down to the term mate. And if you spend 8 months together calling everybody mate, then it becomes habit. And that carried on even after landfall and started building the colonies. That habit carried on and a tradition was born, and it got passed down to the later generations, and we still quite often use the term today. So moving on to some more types of Aussie slang. Many of the early settlers here, as I mentioned before, they were convicts, and it was pretty widely practiced by the Brits at the time to use convicts for forced labour. And this wasn't just in Australia, this was all over the world, wherever the Brits went, in America and other places. And this would typically happen with chain gangs. And chain gangs were basically where they took all the convicts, they were all shackled at the ankles, and each one was chained to the next prisoner, so they're all chained together. That's why it's called a chain gang. They were sometimes also called iron gangs. So basically they couldn't run away because each one was connected by the ankle braces, and they were usually under guard all the time as well. So the prisoners, the convicts, would try to find a way to communicate without the guards knowing what was going on. And they did this by using rhyming slang as code, very similar to London Cockney slang, which there's a pretty hilarious example of that in Austin Powers Goldmember. Do recommend, if you have not watched that movie, at least look up the Cockney slang scene between Austin Powers and his dad. It's very similar and developed in the same sort of way for the sort of similar reasons, to disguise what they were really trying to say. So here's an example of an Aussie one though. Have a Captain Cook. So Captain Cook was the guy who's been credited for discovering Australia, although there is a little bit of controversy about that, but we're not going to go into that today. So anyway, we have a phrase here in our Aussie rhyming slang, have a Captain Cook, or you could give it a Captain Cook, or you could take a Captain Cook. And basically what this means is you can have a look, you can give it a look, or you can take a look. So that's just one example of Aussie rhyming slang. A couple more examples might be get on the dog and bone. And I'm not sure if the Brits might use this one as well. Possibly. Any Brits out there that know any of the Cockney slang, then let me know whether you guys use this one. But basically, that just means get on the phone. Another one that we might use would be hit the frog and toad. And that one basically just means hit the road. So there we go. That is going to do it for this episode. I hope you did enjoy this and hope you learned something. If you did, then please leave me a like or a comment down below. Leave me a comment down below in which country you live in and what languages you speak. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.